Other than orgasm, what's your favorite part of sex? The tension before. All tension can be electric. The moment she decides what she wants before it physically happens too. Seeing all those walls just come down. The part where you're both pretending you're not gonna have sex but you're totally gonna have sex. I think mine is when I'm straddling his waist and his hands are on my hips. I'm leaning down to kiss him while we are talking and just getting started. Lots of ego in that. And the words are usually SI. I also like when they have to stop so that won't finish. It's too good. My ex would always say. Or if I need to slow them down. Easy. Easy. I love when they want to come but are trying not to. The power I feel when I ask my boyfriend how a position is and he says good, then after a pause too good and makes us change positions is incredible. When the guy talks. Finding a guy that is verbal or a moaner is like hitting a line jackpot. Words of encouragement during sex make me want to work 10 times harder. I believe in you. Teamwork makes the dream work. Looking at the expressions on her face. Removed. A woman's back. The hourglass shape and curvature is really SI. In general, just the softness of a woman's body. Teasing. I love it because you can just get someone so worked up that they're dying to you. Meanwhile you're also getting yourself so worked up you're dying to them. Just thinking about it turns me on. Oddly though, being teased doesn't really do much for me. Eye contact with someone you love while you're inside them is eyeing magic. I think just the fact that someone likes me enough to let me put part of me inside of them repeatedly is a bit fascinating. That little gasp she makes the first time you slip in. After my husband and I have sex, we are both so much more thoughtful and affectionate. Like it reminds us how much we like each other. I love that part. Honestly, when you're about to go in and she just grabs you to help guide it in. When you slip off the panties with your teeth and they lift up their hips to help. So here's a moaner. Which is new and different. Most men show their arousal in subtle ways. Rapid breathing. Clenched faces as they come. Panting. Not this guy. He moans. He says things which don't make sense. He has this way of escalating till he orgasms. Also, it turns him on crazily when he sees me turned on. So when he goes down on me and I start moaning and thrashing, I look down and see how turned on he gets. See the sounds he starts making. See him trying hard to keep control. That is the best part of sex for me. Knowing how much my pleasure means to him. Knowing how wild and crazy he gets when he sees me getting into it. That he has to kiss me and shut his mouth just so he won't scream when he sees me orgasming. I'll have what while rehabbing please. The initial insert when it goes all the way in. I love the kisses right after he comes inside of me. That is probably the most intimate part of sex for me. Then we laugh. I roll over onto my back. And we make dumb jokes about each other. Her little involuntary spasms after I've made her come. It's the best when I'm still inside her and each slight movement seems to cause them. Edit. Hand holding, if you're in the position to do so. I love holding hands with my man during sex. It somehow feels far more intimate than the act itself. When you're really into and something happens that makes one of you laugh and you have to take a giggle break. The moment when she lifts her hips so I can slide her panties off. Sounds do it for me. So whether it's just breathing in my ear or whispering come for me, I feel like I am really there with them and I can feel what they're feeling. When she's on top. Telling everyone about having it in an Ask Reddit thread. Mushing my face in her nethers. Cuddling afterwards. Boobies all day, boobies all night. I love eating PSSY. To be honest, I could do it for hours. The smell. The taste. The feeling. Feeling her wriggle around and hearing her moan in pleasure while I go to town. I love giving pleasure as much as I love receiving it. So making her feel good is such a turn on for me. MMMHMM. Un copyright airing. Edit. My wife and I have a contest at who can make the other laugh the hardest during sex randomly. Currently I'm in the lead for screaming shark bait to HAHA while slapping her ass. My GF likes having her earlobe sucked. And having things whispered to her while doing so. Recently, I whispered noot noot. Feeling and seeing her soft naked body. I just wasted an hour on this thread. It's the best soft PRN I have ever read. Foreplay and hearing his moans and wondering. Edit. Whimpering. He does wonder what is next. Watching her legs shake and grabbing the comforter as hard as she can. Oh, and seeing how red her ass is after slapping it around. The feeling of pulling out after you finish feels super nice on the dick. If no condom because she on BC or you trying to have babies. It's like taking off socks after a long day but way better. For about 5 minutes afterwards. I'm not horny and don't want sex. The only time in my life that I can think clearly lol. Ordering pizza after. Ooh. The build up. Everything that come before. That moment when you and your partner both realize that sex is going to happen. I remember a time with an ex when we were both sitting on her bed lounging around. I slowly leaned over to peck her on the lips. And then that peck turned into a longer kiss. And that turned into making out. Which turned into taking turns kissing each other's necks. And nibbling ears. And so on. Eventually we were both horizontal and her straddling me. When she pulled back and locked eye contact with me. And there was this immediate moment of understanding. Like we're gonna do the deed, aren't we? That is my favorite part. When you're about to come and they know. And they embrace you. Pull you closer and whisper in your ear, come inside me, don't mind if I do. HNNNGGGGGGGN bonus points if you squeeze me while I'm coming and also hug me, hold me close harder or make out with me very passionately. I'm not sure if I've learned to orgasm without ejaculation. Or if edging just feels that I'm good. When my GF is on top of me and she starts to come. I can feel something happening to myself that's similar to an orgasm. But lasts a lot longer and comes in waves. It comes with a hit of feel-good neurotransmitters that rivals MDMA. If I do it for too long. Eventually I'll have an ejaculatory orgasm. But I can usually back off and prolong it unless she's being especially cruel and wants to watch me buck and writhe. Fighting it off. I love the slapping noises of the two bodies colliding. Getting to spend time with my uncle. Her reaction during oral sex, her thighs clamped around my head and her hand fisted in my hair keeping me in place. And the sound she makes. And the cuddling afterward. The intimacy and closeness. Here you are. Completely naked. With another person. Locked in an embrace with your most intimate parts pressing against each other. You're grinding and sweating and breathing hard. Maybe you're clawing away at one another and biting each other's necks. Or maybe you're staring into each other's eyes for the first time that day. To me, the sex itself is secondary to doing something I enjoy with someone I enjoy. Something that's only unique to us. When you're going down on her and your fingers hit the spot and you noticeably feel the near immediate surge of wetness. Her following up with, yes. Right there. And you're just thinking, yeah. I know. Full stop. Unboxing for the first time. Peel that plastic of the shroud on that GTX 1080 Ti dirty. Squeezing my honey who I love so much. Actually getting it. Dom here. While the spanking, the teasing, and the hair pulling are fun. The look of comfort and trust in a sub's eyes as she snuggles in to come down from that place. Knowing that even after all the often painful stuff I did to her over the last hour, she's still at peace snuggled in my arms. It's a serenity and a confidence I can barely describe. All this thread has done is remind me of how miserably lonely I am. The intimacy. Their expressions. The random sounds. The joy. And the feel of doing something dirty. Sex is nice. When my boyfriend is about to come, he makes eye contact with me and it is the most connected I've ever felt to another living thing. I get butterflies and come myself. It is almost impossible to describe. But there is that moment where this look of extreme joy and passion light up the woman's face as you look into her eyes. And it just transforms her. Paints her in a light you never see except in this moment. There is a saying in Chinese that roughly translates to, in the eyes of the lover, an image of the most beautiful woman in the world is conjured up. The way his hips shift and legs spread while giving head. Oh and OFC all the moans. Groans and little comments. How his nuts tighten near the end and he gets a tad louder. I'm not sure why, but I also love rubbing the taint while doing that. SI thoughts aside. I think it's genuinely because he's given me full access to a very vulnerable part of himself. While usually he's stoic, reserved and careful with emotions. So to get them to do the opposite is an amazing feeling. The adventure getting there. Did you grab your friends and go to distant lands? Having her in my arms and feeling like I belong somewhere. The build up beforehand. From when you start playing coy or she gives you that look. Or when she pins you down on the couch for a makeout session. Or when she comes up behind you to fondle your breasts. You know. I find the most erotic part of a woman is the boobies. Considering I can't orgasm from sex, long story. I have to say the other person's orgasm is what I look forward to the most. Or penetration. That is great too. Eating the pizza. Pleasing my partner so much they pass out. It doesn't get much better than that. Except when it's in a standing shower and you have to quickly catch them lest they hit their head on the porcelain. The way my boyfriend looks at me like I am the most amazing, incredible person he had ever met. I've never known faith as strong as trust in a lover's eyes. I've never seen a miracle more awe-inspiring than the fact that two hands can touch and for two people make the world right. Make it make sense. When you finally get the body out of the dirt. Watching them enjoy me treating them like I hate them. I've been having hate sex with my ex for the past few weeks. When he tells me he's gonna come. The breathiness of it, and even if we're not having sex and he does it. I get immediately turned on. It's amazing. Also. Dirty talk and moans beyond that. 2. Warning to all singles. Yeah, I've already read most of the comments. But dying hurts, right? I want sex. I need the intimacy. And I want it now. I hate being single. Playing with a nice pair of boobs. And it's like it. Lots of sweet and cuddly moments from people in nice relationships. The part where she writes algebra on your penis. Cocculus. Soul for sex. Baby. Boys that moan are God's gift to this earth. you.I 3. Slapping the ass and grabbing the hips. When he's really horny. He'll look at me with this sort of evil smile. And I feel like a steak on a platter in front of a gorgeous, hungry man. UNF. I love his I want you face. When he bites his lip. When I can clearly see how much he's enjoying watching me and my pleasure. Holding hands during the act. It's so intimate. When he comes. Whether inside me, birth control, or down my throat. I love watching him get off. And the naked cuddles that come afterwards. If you think that orgasm is the best part in sex, then you're doing it wrong. Reaching for my wallet to give her the $150 for half an hour even though I lasted barely 60 seconds. That musky sex smell after going at it for a while. All the sex juices mixed together wafting through the air. I'm probably alone on this. But I really like it when a guy ejaculates in my mouth. The sound she makes during. Even if some, or most, are faked. Why do you think they are fake? Why do you think someone feels they need to make fake sounds? I love going down on my wife. Or when I kiss her neck and she's in the mood and I realize like, yay, I'm getting laid tonight. Wait. What? Balls deep in love. The rippin' and the tearin'. Oh cute, oh cute, oh cute, oh cute. I like the anticipation a lot more than the actual sex. When you can't bang until later so you and your so are playing secret grabs when the friends aren't looking.